Hi students, in the previous lecture I taught you about accommodation and the range of vision. Now our today's lecture is about defects of vision and their correction. Now you know the ability to see is called vision or eyesight. Sometimes what happens, the eye of a person cannot focus the image of an object on the retina properly. In such cases, the vision becomes blurred and the person cannot see either the distant objects or nearby objects or sometimes both clearly and comfortably. Then the person is said to have a defect of vision or defects of eye. Now there are three common defects of vision: myopia, hypermetropia, presbyopia. These are the refractive defects of vision because they are caused by the incorrected refraction of light rays by eye lens. And these defects of vision can be corrected by using suitable spherical lenses, convex lens or concave lenses. And these lenses are usually used in the form of eyeglasses or spectacles. Now we will describe all these defects of vision and their correction one by one. So let's start with myopia. What is myopia? You can say short-sightedness or nearsightedness. Short-sighted person means that the short sight of the person to see nearby objects is normal, but his long sight to see distant objects is defective. So myopia or short-sightedness is that defect of vision in which a person cannot see the distant objects clearly, though he can see the nearby objects clearly. For instance, a child having a defect called myopia and that child is sitting on the back bench in the class, he cannot read the writing on blackboard clearly, though he can read his book comfortably. It means the far point of an eye having myopia is less than infinity. Such a person can only see up to a distance of few meters or even less. So how this defect arises? So this defect of eye is caused due to either high converging power of eye lens or due to eyeball being too long. What happens in some cases, an eye suffering from myopia, ciliary muscles attached to the eye do not relax. When ciliary muscles do not relax, the eye lens didn't become thin, due to which converging power does not get reduced, and it means the eye having myopia is having greater converging power, and because of this high converging power, converging power, the image of a distant object is not formed on the retina but in front of the retina, before retina, and the eye cannot see that object clearly. And in other cases, what happens, eye suffering from myopia, the eyeball being too long, what happens, the distance between the retina and the lens increases, and again due to this condition, same result comes, that is, image formation takes place in front of the retina. Though that time a person is having correct converging power, but being too long eyeball, image is not formed at the retina but in front of the retina. In this figure, you can see this shows an eye suffering from the defect of myopia. In this case, parallel rays coming from a distant object are converged to form an image, but they will form an image in front of the retina because of the high converging power or the eyeball being too long. Now the object here is at a larger distance called infinity, so it has not been shown here. Now the image is formed in front of the retina. Now the far point of an eye having myopia, if is at a point f, far point is at a point this f, which is less than infinity, then the rays of light coming from the myopic person's far point f, they can be focused by the eye lens on the retina. Here you can see images formed on the retina. This means that if the distant object can be made to appear as if it were at the far point f of this eye, then the eye can see it clearly. And we have to reduce the converging power. So for that case, we need a diverging lens, and that is concave lens. So myopia is corrected by using spectacle containing concave lens. See here, you can see here, when a concave lens, diverging lens of suitable power is placed in front of myopic eye, then the parallel rays of light coming from a distant object are first diverged by this concave lens. Due to this, concave lens forms a virtual image of distant object at this far point f of the myopic eye. Now, since the rays of light coming from the appear to be coming from the eye's far point f, they can be easily focused on the retina. This was all about myopia. Now the second defect, that is hypermetropia. A long-sighted person. It means, it's also called long-sightedness or far-sightedness. It means the long sight of a person is normal, but his vision to see the to see the nearby objects is defective. So hypermetropia is that defect of vision due to which a person cannot see the nearby objects clearly, though he can see the distant objects clearly. For instance, a person having the defect of hypermetropia cannot read a book clearly and comfortably, though he can read a number of distant buses clearly. So the near point of hypermetropic eye is more than 25 centimeters away, and such a person has to hold a reading material like book or newspaper at an arm's length, much beyond 25 centimeters from the eye for comfortable reading. Hypermetropia is just opposite of myopia. This defect arises due to low converging power of the eye lens or the eyeball being too short. Now what happens in some cases, ciliary muscles attached to the eye become weak and cannot make the eye lens thick to increase its converging power. So due to low converging power and an eye suffering from hypermetropia, the image of nearby objects is formed behind the retina, not at retina, behind the retina, and hence eye cannot see it clearly. In other cases, what happens if eyeball being too short, the distance between eye lens and retina is less, again due to which the image is formed behind the retina. Now we wear a lens which increases its converging power. You can see here in this figure, the light rays coming from a nearby object are focused, but the image is formed behind the retina. Now look in this figure. In this case, diverging rays of light coming from a nearby object placed at normal near point 25 centimeter are conveyed, when here normal near point 25 centimeter, then the image is formed behind the retina due to low converging power. Now if the near point of an eye having metropia is at point N dash, it means more than 25 centimeters. More than 25 centimeters, then the image is formed here at the retina, not behind the retina. Then the near point having metropia, hypermetropia, is at point N dash, which is more than 25 centimeters away. The diverging rays of light coming from hypermetropic person's near point can just be focused by his eye on the retina. This means that if the object placed at normal near point can be made to appear as if it were placed at this eye's near point N dash, then the eye will be able to see it clearly, and this can be done by putting a lens which increases its converging power. That is a converging lens, convex lens. So hypermetropia is corrected by using a spectacles containing convex lens. Now what happens when a convex lens of suitable power is placed in front of hypermetropic eye? Then the diverging rays of light coming from nearby object placed at 25 centimeters are first converged by this lens. Due to this, the convex lens forms again virtual image of the nearby object at the near point N dash of hypermetropic eye. Now since the rays of light now appear to be coming from N dash, eye's near point, they can be easily focused and the image is formed on the retina. So convex lens is used for correcting hypermetropia. Now the next defect, that is presbyopia. This is the another defect that happens in old age due to ciliary muscles becoming weak and eye lens becoming inflexible or rigid. The eye loses its power of accommodation. Because of this, an old person cannot see the nearby objects clearly. So presbyopia is that defect of vision due to which an old person cannot see the nearby objects clearly due to loss of power of accommodation. Now, for instance, old person having presbyopia cannot read a book or newspaper comfortably and clearly without spectacles. So presbyopia occurs in old age due to gradual weakening of ciliary muscles and diminished flexible. This is same as hypermetropia. So again, the near point of old person having hypermetropia gradually recedes and becomes much more than 25 centimeter. So this is a special kind of hypermetropia, and it's also called old age hypermetropia. Now this defect is again corrected in the same way as hypermetropia by using spectacles having convex lenses. It's also possible that the same person has both the defects of vision, myopia as well as hypermetropia. Then the spectacles given to him are of bifocal lenses. Spectacles having bifocal lenses, in which upper part consists of concave lens to correct myopia for distant vision, and the lower part consists of convex lens to correct hypermetropia and used for reading purposes. So these days it's possible to correct the refractive defects of eye such as myopia, hypermetropia by using contact lenses or by undergoing surgical operations. And then there is no need to wear spectacles. Now there is another defect that is called cataract, which comes in old age again. This is the medical condition in which the lens of a person becomes cloudy and resulting in blurred vision. And what happens, this cataract develops when the lens of a person becomes cloudy, or you can say opaque, due to which the formation of a membrane over it takes place. Cataract decreases the vision of the eye gradually. It can even lead to total loss of vision of the eye. So the vision of the person can be restored after getting surgery. The opaque lens is removed from the eye by surgical operation and a new artificial lens is inserted in that place. So this defect, cataract, cannot be corrected by any type of spectacle lenses. It's only corrected by surgical operations, by surgical procedures. This was all about the defects of vision. Thank you, students.